I moved from a desk job to creating a real estate empire and having financial freedom. I want the same thing for you. Welcome to the Real Estate Mentor Show. I'm your host, Toby Brown. I've been in real estate over 16 years and I'm the founder and CEO of the Brown Group, a full-service real estate firm. Did you know that 90% of all millionaires own real estate? This could be you. Create generational wealth through real estate investments. Let's do this. Welcome to the Real Estate Mentor Show. I'm your host, Toby T.B. Brown, where I come to you to talk about real estate investing. My goal is to help this generation create wealth through investing in real estate. Listen, guys, over the last 16 years, I've been able to build a real estate empire investing in single-family homes, and I want to help you do the same thing. One of the things I want you guys to know about this show, that for the most part, this show is unscripted, okay? The goal for me is I want to give you guys the raw, uncut stories behind the scenes on me and my real estate investing business. I want to educate you on things that I've done right, and I want to educate you on some of the things that I did not do well, because I think some of the most valuable lessons can be learned from the mistakes that other people make. So you can learn from my mistakes and know what not to do to help you get started and to help you grow your real estate investing career. This past weekend, I want to note, Tiger Woods won the 2019 Masters tournament. Do you guys know the journey that he's been on the last 10 years? He basically hit rock bottom in his golfing career. His personal life was in shambles. He had all kind of things going on that just basically ruined him, in most people's opinion. They thought his golf career was over. The surgeries he had to go through, again, his personal life, his marriage, all the things that he had going wrong for him in his life, we pretty much wrote him off. I didn't, but the world pretty much wrote Tiger Woods off. And here we are. He is again on top of the mountain, a champion, guys, a champion. So what's the point in that? Why do I bring that up? To me, it made me reflect back on my real estate investing career and all of the different obstacles, all the different challenges I went through, all the different banks that turned me down, all the doors I knocked on where the answer I got was no, 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 no. I could have easily given up. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, this was not supposed to last 16 years. I was supposed to quit a long time ago, but I didn't. I did not quit and I did not give up. And because of that, I stand here with an empire, a real estate empire that's going to last forever, that has created a legacy for me and my family. So the message there is, no matter how tough it gets, no matter how many times you get told no, no matter how many times people tell you you should walk away and quit, never give up. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in the dream you have, if you really truly want to be successful and you want to maximize your talents, your gifts, your skills, and all the knowledge and information that you've learned to prepare you to be successful in real estate, do not quit when the going gets tough. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. Okay, guys? That's the message I want all of you to make sure you understand. You cannot quit. This business is a tough business. It's a grinding business. You know, you have to constantly try to figure things out. You got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And sometimes it's going to be confusing. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be stressful. People will let you down. You're not going to be able to see where the next opportunity is going to come from. But if you quit, if you give up, you're pretty much guaranteeing failure, right? And so I'm a living testimony, guys, of what not quitting can do for you. Because again, I've had plenty of opportunities to quit. I've had many sleepless nights. I have had many stressful days in this business. So I'm trying to prepare you for that. They will come, but you have to stay focused. You have to keep going. You have to keep knocking. Even when someone tells you no, you have to go to the next door and keep knocking until you find the answer. That's how I've been able to be successful, by not quitting, not giving up. So I want to drill that into you guys. This is probably going to be the most important piece of advice that I can give you is not quitting and not giving up, because it's so easy to do. And that's why a lot of people fall out of this game, fall out of this business, is because they simply quit, right? And right when they quit, that next opportunity was waiting for them, but they never got to it because they gave up too soon. So that's my message. Do not quit. Do not give up. There's so many examples around us. Tiger Woods, I use him because he's a global icon, and he's someone that we all know, is someone that we all see on TV. And so I use him as an example because we all can relate to that, in life, going through struggles, hitting rock bottom, and then, bouncing back. I think that's like the ultimate, American story of redemption. So don't quit, guys. When the going gets tough, do not quit. So I want to share with you briefly today. I want to talk about buying rental properties for the long term, holding them as rentals versus flipping. There's a lot of advantages to both sides of it. There's a lot of advantages in buying and holding, and there's some advantages with flipping as well. I'm a big proponent of buying and holding properties for the long term. The goal in real estate is to create passive income, cash flow, positive cash flow coming in every month. You want as much of that coming in as you possibly can. The problem with flipping properties, now don't get me wrong, I flipped a lot of properties in my real estate career. Flipping is good because we all need cash windfalls at some point in time. You'll hit a rough spot where your cash is low and you need some cash, so you'll be forced to sell a property. Or there will be times when it just makes sense to sell because the value of the property, for example, maybe has gone up. There's you have a large equity position in a property where it makes sense to sell and get that cash and redeploy it into additional assets. So I've done that a lot of times in my real estate investing career. But I want you to understand that I do not believe in that as a long-term strategy, because when you're buying for the sole purpose of just flipping properties, then you always run against that struggle. Okay, what do I do next? What's my next step? What do I do with this cash? And now you got to go out, find another property, you got to renovate another property, and you got to try to sell it again, right? And it becomes a game. It becomes a revolving door, and it basically becomes another job. You've created another job for yourself. So you got to get up every day and you got to go chase the next deal, and you got to go try to flip the next property. So it's another job. Yes, it can be rewarding. Yes, if you do it right and you get that cash coming in, it's good. But again, you got to do that over and over and over again, and you become subject to market conditions. What happens when the market crashes, or when it becomes, versus being a seller's market, it becomes a buyer's market, right? A buyer's market is going to reduce the prices because you have an influx of inventory, and buyers have more options and more choices, which is going to drive your market value down. So it's going to be tougher to flip properties in a buyer's market. So what do you do then? Now you're kind of stuck, right? That's where the cash flow comes in, because the cash flow will allow you to sustain during any market cycle. So whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, when you have that rental income coming in every month, it allows you to sustain regardless of what's going on in the market. That's why I'm a firm believer in the buy and hold strategy. That was my goal from day one. Now I will share with you, I did get off track for a period of time. This was around 2004, 2005, I believe. The very first show on flipping houses came out. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it came out on A&E was the channel. And I think it was called Flipping Houses, right? There was a guy named Richard. I forgot his last name. He's out of Charleston, South Carolina, I believe. And he came out with this show called Flipping Properties. And it showed him behind the scenes, kind of a reality TV show, of him flipping properties, buying them and flipping properties. And they would put the numbers up on the screen, right? What he bought it for, what the renovation was. It would show him doing the renovation process with his team. And then they would show that moment when he actually sold the property, and they would show how much money he was making. So me, like anybody else, I got gung-ho and I thought, wow, man, he made $50,000 on that house, $60,000 on this house. $100,000 on this house. I'm like, man, that's a lot of cash. And at this time, I'm only 2 or 3 years in the business. So it's not like I'm rich already. I haven't made it. So I'm like, $50,000, that's a lot of money. So I kind of bought into the temptation about flipping properties. So I changed my buy and hold strategy temporarily to buying properties for the purpose of flipping them, right? And so I started looking at properties for a different purpose versus buying and saying, okay, this would be a good rental property based on the location, based on the price point, and based on the amount of rent that I can get on it. I started looking at, okay, what could I sell this property for? So I think it was my first 2 deals that I did where I went into it with the intention of actually selling the property. I'll be honest, it wasn't very successful. The first house, I think I made like $2,500 after buying it, fixing it up, paying the realtor, the broker, paying the buyer's closing costs, all the different fees associated with it. I made $2,500. And I said, okay, well, what did I do wrong here? Maybe I didn't buy it right. So the next property, I looked for a deeper discount so that I can have a bigger spread. And I thought I bought, I got a better buy than I did on the first one. And the second property, I think I made like $12,000. And so I was like, man, like I can't seem to hit this home run that Richard is making on these TV shows, right? So it was then and there that I said, you know what, flipping is okay to make a little money, but at the end of the day, if I'm only going to make $12,000 on a house, then I might as well just keep it and rent it. So at that point, I went back to my buy and hold strategy, and I'm glad that I did that because, again, I was able to start accumulating cash flowing properties that would eventually build up over a period of time to where I could have positive cash flow, passive income coming in every single month, whether I chose to get out of bed or not that day. Now, obviously, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background in terms of running a business, managing the properties, taking care of the tenants, collecting the rents, showing the properties, making sure you're staying on top of the maintenance. All that stuff was going on in the background. But at the end of the day, each month I could see my cash flow rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. And one of the most proudest moments for me is when I got to that point to where my cash flow had equaled the amount that I was making on my job that I walked away from. Because remember, guys, I was at a desk job working for 10 years and I left. I quit to go into real estate investing. So I took a big risk, right? And so one of the proudest moments for me is when the cash flow that I had coming in on my rental properties equaled the amount that I used to make on my job. And that's when the light bulb went off that, hey, you made the right decision. You made the right decision. Now you just have to keep going. So to me, that's why a buy and hold strategy is more effective than just flipping properties, because the more cash flow you have coming in every single month, then it gives you more stability to do other things. And also it helps with the number one component in investing in real estate, and that's the financing. When you go to financial institutions and you attempt to get loans on properties, they're going to evaluate you and your business. They're going to see, okay, what's the positive income? How much income do you have coming in? How much debt do you have going out? And they're going to use what they call a debt service ratio to determine whether or not you and your business, from a global standpoint, whether you qualify for a loan. And so you have to maintain that positive debt to income ratio on real estate investment properties. Usually it's around 1.2, 1.25, which means that you have to have more cash flow, 1.25 times the amount of debt service that you have. So when you have positive cash flow coming in every month, then you put yourself in position to qualify for additional financing, to get favorable terms on additional financing. Conversely, when you're flipping properties, it's hard to project that income. So when you go to get new loans, it's hard to project whether or not that income you made last month on, say you flipped 2 properties and you made $50,000, it's hard to project whether or not you're going to be able to do that again next month, right? Because you got to go find the deals and you have to sell them. So all of that money, all that income is contingent upon you being able to flip the property, sell the property, and make a profit. So it's hard for a banker to project that income versus buying and holding. You know you have that residual rental income coming in every month because rent is due every month. So just like your mortgage payment is due every month, rent is due every month. So you can project that. It's predictable income. So they can use that when evaluating you for new loans. So again, guys, I'm not telling you don't flip properties, because again, it's a good way to get started. It's a good way to generate some cash so that you can use when investing for the long term. It's a good way to generate cash, but it should not be, in my opinion, your long-term strategy in real estate investing. Your long-term strategy should be passive income, investing in single-family homes, right? I would start small. I would start, depending on your market, obviously. I live in Oklahoma City, where the average home price is around $167,000. So from a rental house standpoint, a good rule of thumb is between $50,000 and $125,000. If you do it right, if you run the numbers right, if you buy right, you can get a property to cash flow really well in that target price point between $50,000 and $125,000, right? So I would target that as your target for investing in single family homes. Now, mind you, this is my strategy. This is my opinion. This is how I've built my business. This is how I run my business today. This is how I've been able to be successful, right? Somebody else may give you a whole nother story about how they've built an empire on flipping properties. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just telling you how TB has been able to be successful in real estate. And that's one of the reasons why I created the podcast. That's what this podcast is about, for me to share my experiences with you so you can learn from my experiences. Somebody else may have a different podcast talking about something different, talking about a complete different strategy on investing and how to be successful. And I'm not knocking what somebody else is doing. I only can share with you my experiences on how I've been successful. So hopefully you'll be able to learn from the things that I'm sharing with you. Like I said, these first few episodes, I really want to give you more insight about me and my real estate investing career, things that I've been able to do, how I've been able to be successful, the failures, the things that I've done wrong, so you can learn about it. As we progress with the podcast, I'm going to start having other investors on the show. I'm going to have other industry experts on the show so they can share with you some of their experiences. So you're not just hearing my opinion, you're hearing somebody else's opinion and how they've been able to be successful and some of the mistakes that they've made, so you can learn from it. But again, the goal for me, the ultimate goal, is to help you. I want to help you get in this real estate business and create generational wealth, because I think it is the number one vehicle for creating wealth through real estate investing. It's been proven time and time again, right? As I said all the time, numbers don't lie. 90% of millionaires and wealthy individuals have done so, have accomplished that through investing in real estate, right? So the secret is out. It's no secret. Real estate is the vehicle. The question is, are you willing to make the sacrifices to do it? Are you willing to educate yourself enough to do it? Are you willing to tune into the podcast? Are you willing to join the webinar? Are you willing to get a coach, get a mentor? Are you willing to purchase that real estate investment course? Are you willing to attend the conference? Are you willing to network? Right? Are you willing to do those things? That is the question, because all of the tools and resources that are available now in terms of social media, again, podcasts, webinars, and all this, I didn't have access to the information when I started my real estate investing career. I had to just learn on the fly. I had to learn through experience. Yeah, I talked to a few people, but there was nobody really giving this depth of information and this depth of content in terms of details of what to do, how to do it, when to do it. That advice was not available to me when I started my real estate investing career. So now you have all of this information available. Like I think back and I say to myself, imagine if I had access to the information that I have access to now, where would I be in my career? I would be so far ahead, in my opinion, because I would have had access to this information. Now, with that being said, I don't regret at all the journey that I've taken, because again, I've learned so much through trial and error. And then on top of that, now, because of what I've gone through, I can have this podcast and I can share with you information that can help you get to the next level and create wealth through real estate. So I have no regrets pertaining to that. But don't sit on the sidelines, guys, is really what I'm trying to say to you. Don't sit on the sidelines, because you're wasting an opportunity. So you don't have the excuse of not having the information. You don't have the excuse of not having a mentor or a coach, because there's a plethora of them out there, including myself. You don't have those excuses anymore. The information is available. The people are available. The content is available. Everything is available to you at your fingertips for you to start a real estate investing career and for you to be successful. So get off of the sidelines and get in the game, guys. Remember, you have to take action. You can't just talk about it. You have to take action. So my mission is to try to encourage you through this show, through my podcast, through my examples, try to encourage you and inspire you and motivate you to get in this real estate investing business. All right, that's my goal. Each show, I'm gonna try to bring content and information that you can use, that you can share, that you can take advantage of, so that you can get started with your career. Again, guys, to revisit my original point, I believe in a buy and hold strategy. If you're gonna get in this business and do it the right way and really be successful the way that I have, a buy and hold strategy is the way to go, acquiring real estate investment properties, specifically single family homes, building passive income so that you can be super successful and you can leave a legacy for your family, okay? So as I get out of here, guys, I wanna remind you, like I said in the beginning of the show, there's gonna be obstacles. You're gonna go through trials and tribulations. There's gonna be a point where you feel like giving up because of the roadblocks and because of the people that told you no, and because of the frustration and the stress that you feel from not being able to get to the next level. And that's one of the reasons why you need a coach and you need a mentor, because they can help navigate you through those situations, right? I don't call it a shortcut. I call it just getting that guidance to help you get through situations, right? I've been through a lot of situations. I can help and coach you through certain things that you may be going through, that you're going to go through in your real estate investing career. But you have to take that step and you have to engage with getting a mentor or a coach. But first and foremost, you cannot quit. You cannot quit. If you quit, then you're gonna lose and you're gonna fail. You cannot quit. You have to find a way to stay in the game. No matter what anyone tells you, no matter how bad it gets, how stressful you get, do not quit. That's my message for today in this show. Over, above and beyond anything, do not quit, okay? And take the first step, get started. Get started, guys. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you create generational wealth through investing in real estate properties. I'm your host, Toby T.B. Brown, and I look forward to the next show, guys. All right? I want to grow with you.